Hi, this is Dave Gallagher with 3DAppealBlog, and we're going to review Scorpy today. This is our first submission at 3DAppealBlog, where normally we're going to deal with animations and models and rigs, and today this is our first one, so we're going to do it even though it's a character design. I am not a character designer at all, but I do know from my years as a character development supervisor at Blue Sky Studios that the things that will work and won't work, and what will bring appeal and performance to a character. So let's look at this Scorpy design here. One thing I'm noticing, the first thing is that the silhouettes, if you just sort of imagine those blacked out, in fact, just kind of imagine this that pose here. It's supposed to be like moving, running, let's see, in a running pose. So if you just picture that, like squint your eyes and picture that all silhouetted out, it's not going to really read particularly well. You can't really tell what's going on, and that's because well, a couple of reasons. I think he might be a little bulky, and then also the way his legs are shaped. You know, you've got almost like a reverse leg, but they also have some built-in shaping to them. I think I think what might work better here. Well, the problem with it, you know, if you got like a dog or a bird or something, their hip is up here, right? And then their knee is here, the ankle's here. This is all toe down here. But it's the way you've got it in Scorpy is where it just sort of comes out. Let's see, how do you get it here? It just comes out, and then you've got foot. So the leg is sort of like one segment. And this doesn't read particularly well in silhouette, and it's not going to perform all that great. So what I might suggest is kind of moving that down, moving the legs down, basically. So I just drew a couple of poses, and I realized that you know, once you start getting them in a pose, then you kind of discover certain things about what might and what might not work. So it seemed to work better where you've got you know, a longer body, and you know, you've got the eye kind of the way you've got it, and then the the legs can sort of, the arms can be kind of where you've got them, but then if the legs could sort of just stick on right at the end, just cartoony style, and the tail kind of feed off of that, I think it would be graphically more pleasing and would perform better. So that's why we got you know, stuff like this where you're reading clear lines and you can really read that expression, and that's because the lines are kind of clearer. They move through that form. So try to keep things simple at first and try to get expression and appeal, and then work backwards. And if you could stick onto that some you know, some of that detail, then that would be great. You'd be at a better starting point. With the hands, I think it'd be great to go a little bit less like a scorpion, a little bit more like a crab. These are kind of like little gloves, and they kind of read like gloves. On the eye, I think, you know, you've got the right idea, but I think we just need a little bit of meat, like a little bit of flesh above that eye, so we could do it sort of like Mike Wazowski style, where, you know, you got that eye, but then the lid comes down and then creates the shape, whether it's angry or whether it's like that other drawing I just showed, whether it's kind of going the other way and does that. Okay, and then the mouth kind of like rides underneath that. And then as far as the tail, you know, you've got you're saying here that there are limited amount of segments, but you need to make those segments a little bit smaller if you want it to sort of make different shapes. So, you know, I propose something like this, where, you know, it's got bigger segments, but they're smaller than what you have, so that and each one individually isn't super long and has its own shaping, so that the segments can reverse its curve. You know, if it's curved this way, then it can reverse the other way. And then on top, instead of a shape like this, you know, why not go full into the this shape here, which which scorpions have, you know, right at the end. And then just make sure that the mouth shapes that you're getting are as appealing as possible. You've got a shape maybe like this. That seems a little improbable. Maybe what you could do is, it seems like if you want the growl part, you might want to come in with that and then come down for the bottom, so that it's tighter at the top than the bottom, and then expose some of the teeth, you know. So let's see, those are some ideas. Oh yeah, and then if you could just don't deform the eyeball that much. You've got like some really harsh shaping on it. I do the expression with the lids, but just a little bit of shaping to the eyeball. You've got it too squishy for my taste. But yeah, the main thing I think to getting Scorpy working is just moving those legs down, having the legs not attach right under the chin, is you know, as really maybe true to life or whatever that might be. It doesn't really work, and I think that that might be more appealing if that just sort of an afterthought way down here in a cartoony style that sort of stick on the bottom. And then yeah, as far as like you're talking about maybe a running pose, and another thing, I think the smaller legs would work better with the body sort of like flowing all the way through into the tail, and then you know, you can just read this as a single form, and then the arms are more prominent, legs less prominent, and you can read that eye. And then you can get angry poses, stuff like this. So these are some thoughts to work on. Basically, the idea is like get them a little more cartoony looking and you know, a little more bendable. And I think you'll be happy with it. All right, thanks a lot. Dave Gallagher from 3D Appeal Blog.